everybody. This is VidLift. Thank you so much for dropping by. We're going to have a pretty good show today. We've got two great videos we're going to show, at least a minute of two great videos. And we're going to watch a 1 minute segment of videos submitted by two YouTube channels, two per show. And four-person panel is going to discuss what we like and ideas for options for next time. And I've got three other channels that are going to come up here and help me out. Then we're going to have a short roundtable and talk about things that we like and dislike about the video. And if you're interested in sending us a video, we would really appreciate that. And you can send that video to vidliftinfo@gmail.com. And we'd appreciate that. And let us know what 1 minute segment you would like us to look at and review. Because if we review the whole video, it'll take us all night. But we would appreciate that. And it helps not only yourself, it helps us, and it helps the community, because everybody gets to see and talk and chat about things they like and dislike, and what they have done themselves. And so it's really a community effort to get a little better in our videos. We're not experts, but we're just sharing our opinions, and that's what they are, and you know what that means. And just trying to get better. So our tagline is, I can't find it. let's lift everybody up together. I think I messed it up. The next show will be Scott at McGuire's on Tires next Tuesday, 8:10 at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and or 8 p.m. Central time, depends on where you're at in the United States. Tonight we're going to watch Downunder Cruisers and Furever Best Friend, and we'll have those clips coming up in just a minute. I'm going to bring these characters up. They can introduce themselves and say a little bit about their channel. Hello, sir. This is Lance and Boomer, Boondocking with Boomer.
Yes. How are you doing, Steve?
How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thank you.
So what's your channel all about? Tell me a little bit.
Oh, my channel is about my family traveling in our Class C motorhome, doing day trips and a few, week trips with my 143-pound Great Dane. And that's why I had to buy 143 pounds.
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for being here. Let's see who else is down here. Who is this? Oh, Donovan, RV from the Wayside. How you doing?
I'm excited. I love this show.
Oh, really?
I think I get more excited about this show. It's like my high point of my week. I'm Donovan from RV on the Wayside, and we make videos to entertain you. Even though we do travel, we don't always do travel videos anymore. We just try to do stuff that'll make you smile. Maybe you'll learn something along the way. And the topics are from all over the spectrum, so we're not much of a niche. So that's about what we do.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir. How about let's see who else is here. We go. We got this guy, Scott from McGuire's on Tires.
Hey guys, I like to travel with my family. That's myself, my wife, and my two wonderful kids. Yeah, they're pretty wonderful. And we like to share our adventures on the YouTubes with you guys. And sometimes we do cool things, like we go to historical places like President's House. Sometimes we go to ridiculous places and do ridiculous things like jumping off the side of mountains or zip lining, or there's no telling what we get into. But we like to share it with you, and we're so thrilled to be here with you tonight.
Woohoo! All right. Outstanding intros, gentlemen. I sure do appreciate your support and carrying the show for me, because sometimes I just forget stuff. I guess we're going to show a video or a clip. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to show a clip of it. We're going to hold on. This is hold on. Don't leave me. Forever. Say again.
Have you done a live stream before, Steve? Or is this
my goodness, it's been so long. I am so out of practice.
He has the setting as if he's done live shows.
Professional.
I'm going to turn it off.
He's a professional. You're a professional.
Forever Best Friend It's Outer Banks van life adventure to wild horses in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, which is part of the Carolinas.
Welcome to the fun van life adventures of Charlie Grace and Rosie Bell Dog. We love to travel across America and love to pay it forward to other animal rescue organizations, but on this trip, it's a special birthday trip. On this trip, Dave gets to tag along. It's not only his birthday, but he has always wanted to share his love of the Outer Banks and take me to see the wild horses at Corolla, as well as the location of the first aviation flight at Kitty Hawk. But first, we learn about bad right turns and how they don't turn out so bad when we find ourselves in Washington, North.
This clip, I want to start off real quick, and I'll pass it off to Lance. This clip, she asked if, she says, should I be on camera or be the face of my intro, or should it be a montage of items for viewers to look at or look for as the video shows? And how long should an intro really be? And we'll talk about that when we go into our discussion, but that's something to think about. All right, Lance, you go ahead.
I think the intro was good. I like how she introduced her channel and then she went right into what the video was going to be about. That's what I liked about it the most. And she showed her face at the beginning with her dog. I mean, you don't have to have too many clips, but so her face is shown. Yeah, it leads in the story intro, and it's good because then you see her at the beginning. Things that what I thought. Oh, that's the other part of the video. You're going to be showing the other two clips, aren't you? But that's the part I like about the intro. I think it was short. It was short, and it went right into the what the video is about. So I like the intro.
All right, Donovan.
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, what a calming intro. How inviting was that? I mean, I just felt like we were sitting there on her couch and she's getting ready to tell us about all this stuff. And I really like that feel, and that's playing to her audience. So some people do a little wild and crazy. Some people are just driving. That's for later. And but deep down, I like the way she approaches the way her audience expects her. All her clips were under 5 seconds. I love that. They were changing constantly. So that was wonderful. I would have liked, personally, I kind of like it when people do a little something that doesn't actually tell me exactly what I'm going to see for the intro. I like a little hook. And I like, we visit a place where the horses run wild and free. We go to a place where two guys try to get off the ground. Did they? Let's find out. That kind of thing. I like those. Even though you have it in your subject or your title, it still feels more intriguing not to give me the whole story in an intro. But that is how she's done it for a while. So that is still playing to her audience. But just a thought. What do you think?
What do you think? What do you think, Scott?
Well, here's a little known fact about me when it comes to things like I don't know, things I've made a commitment to, like this live stream. I over prepare. I have copious notes. I've watched the videos 24 times before we get together because I feel like I'm still very much a beginner, and to be up with these guys, I really try to work very hard to have the information. But full disclosure, through a series of Lemony Snicket's unfortunate events today, what you just saw, you just watched that clip. That was the first time I saw it. So I sat down and I was taking notes while it was playing. So I caught all these good things. And then I looked up to say, well, I need to give feedback about something beyond just, oh, that was good. And I looked up and that was the end of the clip. So, I mean, I know Charlie Grace is looking for information about her intro. And what I wrote down was intro, check, B-roll, check, hook, horse, beach, lighthouse, birthday, wrong turn, narration. You got me in. And one of Charlie Grace's questions was, how long should that intro be? And I agree with what Lance and Donovan said. it came in, it gave an overview of your channel and went right into the intro of the actual video. Here's the story. And you gave me just enough to know what your channel is about without boring me, and just enough to know what the video is about without telling me too much. And like Donovan was saying, I mean, so I like to give feedback like, hey, try this, but I don't have any because I don't know if it just ended too soon or, I mean, it was really good. I think all the things you're asking, your question was, how long should it be? The length you just did, because that was fantastic.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh. Yes. For Scott, unlike us, works pretty much. And sometimes he's pushed for time trying to get from the school to the VidLift, so we give him a break every once in a while. But
no, we don't.
In that 30 seconds, he came up with something. So he's awesome. I too love the 30-second intro. I love it, and I'm going to say initially, I loved it. It was very good, and I like the fact that there were like 3 hooks there. You know, we're going to do this, this, and this. So those are 3 things that we're looking for. You know, you could argue that you do one and then maybe a little bit later you hook a little, you know, you sort of hook as you go down the road. But I thought it was pretty good. Whether you are on the, you know, talking or whether you're showing pictures of your face, I don't think it really matters. The idea of the first 30 seconds of your video is that you make them want to watch the rest of it. And there's a way that you can do that. There's a way that you can tell that, and we're gonna play the clip again, and then I want to show that real quick in a graph. And but I really did. I thought it was really good. I think it's okay the way it was. Then I went to the YouTubes, and I watched a video by Nimmin about how long should a video be and what parts should a video have. And we'll talk about that after this next clip. Is that all right? Does that work?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're repeating this one though, right?
Huh? Yeah, I'm going to show this one again. I'm going to show this one again.
Welcome to the fun van life adventures of Charlie Grace and Rosie Bell Dog. We love to travel across America and love to pay it forward to other animal rescue organizations, but on this trip, it's a special birthday trip. On this trip, Dave gets to tag along. It's not only his birthday, but he has always wanted to share his love of the Outer Banks and take me to see the wild horses at Corolla, as well as the location of the first aviation flight at Kitty Hawk. But first, we learn about bad right turns and how they don't turn out so bad when we find ourselves in Washington, North.
So,
yes, sir.
How long should an intro be, and should she be in it? Intro is as long as it takes to make your viewers can't wait for it to start. No longer, no shorter. That's for me. That's how I look at it. The other thing is, should you be in it? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on what you're about to do. If you're going to do a little explaining of something, it might be good to see your face, and sometimes the B-roll's enough. I say it's whatever fits your situation. Don't ever feel like you got to lock yourself into one way of doing it.
She used to wait. Oh, Steve is muted. Let me get my drink. She used a neat technique in there. Like I say, I've not watched this, so I don't know exactly what happened next. But I think what she did was she gave a list of what's coming up, but I think it came in reverse order. I think she said, we're going to do these things happen, but it sounded like the last thing she said was, and how a wrong turn, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's the thing she got me excited about. So it sounded like the very next thing was going to be that wrong turn. I don't know if it was or not, but that's a neat tactic to do for sure.
There's a million ways you could do an intro. It could be a short one, a long one. You come up with one, you play it for a few weeks, few months. If you start getting hate letters and people saying, can you make it shorter or make it longer? And then you change it, right? That's what I'm thinking. But I love the way she did that. Not many people do that. Introduce your channel and then go right into the story. I can only think of like literally 2 or 3 channels that do that. Most of them have a short clip or a long intro before they start their story. But there's so many different ways, and the best thing to do, like Donovan said, is change it up. Every a few weeks or every few months, or just wait till you get your feedback from your subscribers. I mean, there's big channels out there that have had the same intro for 10 years.
I mean, I think when you see the same intro over and over again, it feels like a TV show. And maybe that's okay.
True.
YouTube seems to be a little faster pace, I think, and sometimes we can skip a channel intro because it really, once you've seen it a few times, it's only going to be good for a new person coming to your channel. So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of having a regular intro anymore. I don't even have them.
Well, I pinned the link to Nick Nimmin's video down below in our description area. He talks about just that. And he says, and now this is just one guy, but he does have 804,000 subscribers. But he says he eliminated his intro, doesn't have one. He has a hook. He goes into the subject matter. He even shows his own intro and says, that's not good. And he, with a caveat that after you start to really get an audience, you might be able to bring those things back in and people will watch them. But if you're showing what your channel's all about in your intro, they can get that information down below by clicking on your channel. And if they're interested in you, they'll go to that channel. But if it's not about the video, like if you say, we're going to have a truck bang into a bridge, I want to know about the truck banging into the bridge from beginning to end, not, that I do videos about stuff. So, go look at the video, see what you think. Not now, after the show. But I thought it was appropriate for what she was asking, and basically what Donovan said. The intro is the whole purpose of that intro is to grab somebody and they want to watch your video. And if you can do that, then you just have to keep them there, and that's another story.
And I'm a big fan of story. I'd rather you just tell your story. I'd no fluff.
Yeah. And
we've talked about this numerous times, but if you're going to show something and it's not part of your story, it's probably not for this video.
Right.
That's how I feel about it. I mean, that's my personal, I only want to entertain. Now you're doing instructional stuff. You got to do certain things to make sure it's easy to follow. Right. So kind of depends on the video, but don't bother with the extra things, I think.
Yeah. And if you go into your video analytics and you go to engagement and you pull that up, the first 30 seconds, you can see that in a graph, and it's very good. That first 30 seconds, if you can hold on to 70%, it starts at 100. If you can hold on to 70% in the first 30, that means your hook's working. And then you'll know whether or not your video, whether you should show a face or not show a face. Do a couple where you show a face. If it falls off, then you go, I don't want to show my face. But it's really good. It's really good information, and at least get you, you look at it and you go, okay, that part's working. And then you can look at the rest of it, how long they stay on the channel and things like that. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that real quick.
Good.
All right. Anything else?
Let's hit that next one.
We're going to the next one. This one is about sound. Let me find my note because I have one. Many times, some of the best storytelling footage is when I'm walking up to people with my iPhone and I'm already starting to shoot. And before they notice, they'll talk because I don't have some big monstrosity dead cat and camera. But, you show up with that and they're like, I don't know if I want to talk to you. But anyway, she's talking about wind noise. And we have two clips. They're both together. So you'll see one, and then immediately after that, you'll see the other. The first one is audio with wind. And the second one, she says, is audio a little fainter. It's not as bad. And then she says, after this, I don't know what I was thinking, shooting in the wind while traveling in an open trailer and then trying to talk. Too much wind for her. I have let some go, but oh, that was me. Too much wind for me, but I have let some go very few times. And we're going to play it. Hold on. Here it goes.
Okay, so this is the first time y'all have done magnet fishing. Yeah. And you're going to throw the magnet out there and see what kind of treasures you can find.
It's got bottle caps and fishing hooks and stuff like that. So,
all right, here we go. Whoa, way out there. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
In horse lingo, that's called a harrow. So the stallions are possessive and they're territorial, so they fight. They're wild animals. So we're going to do about 10 miles down the beach. I'll get behind the dunes. This is the first trip, so it's always a search mission.
What do you think, Lance? How much noise, how much wind noise is too much?
It wasn't until they got into that when they're driving by the houses, that's when it got loud. And I've been in that situation too when the noise was too loud. And I just added music to it to get rid of the sound because they weren't talking about anything in it. So I would have just added some music to it. Now, the one where they're fishing, it was low enough where I don't think it would have bothered anybody. When the gentleman with his son were doing the magnet fishing. But it would have been nice to have got a shot of the man actually bringing something up. That was cool. But if you get too much sound and if you're not talking, it's just easy enough to add music to it, right? Even if it's like 10, 15 seconds of something that you took. You know, bring up the music quickly and then bring it back down quickly.
So thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm a big fan of audio for YouTube. If your audio is rough, people will click away because the last thing you want to do is not be able to understand something or have to back up and hear it again. And some people get their attention span is short and frustrated. So I will give you a solution whether you're using PC or Apple during the roundtable. And it's one everybody can use and it doesn't cost you anything. But what I would like to say is when you do have pieces where someone's talking, like at the pier, and it gets too loud, just clip around their voice. Even though there's wind going on, don't make it one long audio. Cut out all the in-betweens. I know it seems a little choppy, but like Lance said, you could put music and just have it playing in the background slightly quiet. And that doesn't make you notice it as much, but just get the words and then cut the rest out so it's not so loud and you can fill it with a little music or you can even leave it blank if you want. But the sound we hear the most is during the pause. It's not as much as you would think while they're talking. And especially with the other guy, when he's telling you about what's going on, that's one where it's not so bad. But when you went to that next clip, I wouldn't have put the sound at all. And like Lance said, add music or, just leave it blank. What do you think, Scott? You're a sound guy.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I wrote down music is the solution. So it seems like we're all agreeing that music would fix that. And on the one where the wind was really bad, I totally agree. Just take it out and put some music in. And if there were things said on, I don't know if it was a carriage tour, if there were things said on the tour that you needed, then put a graphic up or put your own narration in on top of it. Hey, look at this house. This is where happened. Just right on top of it. So you still got what you need. It may not be the person who originally said it, but you've got the information you needed. In that first one, I didn't think it was bad at all. But when it went into there was towards the end of that first one, I think would be the wind noise you were talking about. The very next thing had music. If that wind noise bothered you, I would have grabbed that music track and pulled it back and let it fade in at the end of the first clip to where it's at the full volume that you wanted for the second clip. And that will help, exactly like Lance and Donovan were saying, that'll help muffle some of that. But the first one I didn't think was bad, but you're the creator. If it bothered you, I think I would have just pulled that music, use that same music, just put it under there and let it fade in.
Well, I think we're all in agreement. Music. Now, I guess we could talk about it in the roundtable, but yeah, I didn't think the sound was as bad in the first clip as it was the second clip. There were times that it wasn't, and it was, and everybody deals with that. Even with a dead cat, sometimes you'll get bad wind, and it's difficult, and everybody, struggles with it. Myself, I try not to put too much in with wind noise, but sometimes you're left with footage that, if I don't do it, it doesn't make sense. And if, so it's a struggle. All right, let's do it again. Hold on. Here we go.
Okay, so this is the first time y'all have done magnet fishing. Yeah. And you're gonna throw the magnet out there and see what kind of treasures you can find.
Got bottle caps and fishing hooks and stuff like that. So,
all right, here we go. Whoa, way out there. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Horse lingo, that's called a harrow. So the stallions are possessive and they're territorial, so they fight. They're wild animals. So we're going to do about 10 miles down the beach. I'll get behind the dunes. This is the first trip, so it's always a search mission.
okay, you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a program called Audacity, and it's a free program for PC and Apple. And here's the best part. In Audacity, you can put your entire audio clip in there, and you can choose to use noise reduction, and it'll take out a lot, or at least decrease all the wind noise to the point where it's not really a problem. It also has one that's called loudness normalization. And that's when you've got stuff and some people are a little quieter and some are a little louder. It'll put them both together. And then when you put it back in your editor, after you've normalized it, then you can lift it up to the level that you'd like or decrease it. And that program is free and everybody can use that.
And you said that's Audacity?
Audacity. It's like AUDACITY.
There's another thing you can do as well. Whatever device you're using to record sound with and video, whether it's a phone or a camcorder or a GoPro, go out when on a windy day and do some test video to see where your microphone is actually picking up the wind, because some devices, if you got the wind coming from behind you, it can come around and and you'll hear that wind. Sometimes devices, when it's coming past the side of them, won't pick it up, and then some won't even pick it up when it's coming towards you. So if you go out and do some testing on your device, whatever you're recording with, and find out when there's no sound from the wind coming, that's when you need to know where your wind's coming from, and not point your camera or your recording device in that direction. Because the GoPro, the only time you get wind off of it that I've noticed is when the wind is coming to the side. If it's behind me or in front of me, it doesn't pick it up. And that makes sense, because the wind it's like when you're blowing a glass bottle and you get that sound from it. That's what it's doing. It's creating that noise from on the edge of the microphone in it.
That's good, Lance.
Yeah, do a sound test of your device.
I put the link to audacity.org in the chat.
There's a trick that I've had to use before, and it's using our favorite thing, B-roll. These guys here on the screen right now love B-roll. So in the clip we just saw, the magnet fisherman said bottle caps, fishing hooks, and stuff like that. So what I've done, Donovan was talking about take just the speaking parts and cut out the stuff in between. If you then, as he's saying that, put some B-roll of where you showed the bottle caps and the fishing hooks and the stuff like that he found, underneath that, you can take that audio, clip out the other stuff, and he says, bottle caps, nothing. Fishing hooks, nothing. Stuff like that. And then that space, that silence is filled with some music that you've put in there. You've got B-roll on top. As you're watching it, you don't even realize there was wind in there because now you're hearing the things that you've said as a creator. I want the listener to hear this.
The other thing you could do is you could type what he's saying as well. Put titles of what the person's saying as if he's too low, not to draw out the wind, but so if he's talking too low, you can type it out like Matt does on a lot of his videos. That's another.
That's Fat Matt Adventures.
Especially funny things.
Have either of you unlinked the video so that you have video and audio and just exclude the audio completely?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I do that. I do that often with wind noise.
And when we're talking about B-roll, or I'll tell you what, the pandemic has been good for me with bad audio. People have masks on, and I'll get the speaking that I want, and I'll put it under, and you don't know. You just see their jaw moving. You don't know what they're saying. It's been so helpful, for real. But yeah, if somebody's facing the other way or they're far off, and I've got audio that I want to put in there, I'll put it in. You don't know what they're saying. They're way back far off the screen, or they're turning the other way. I'll put the audio under there from another clip, and you look at it and you go, "Oh, well, that was easy to hear, even though they were facing the other way."
By the way, Steve Turtle, I want to see you do your lip sync where you take the audio out and you do voiceover of yourself while doing karaoke.
I'm going to do karaoke. We're going to do it.
I love karaoke.
Okay, I guess maybe we should move on to our next clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, yeah. What is it?
Downunder Cruisers.
Yeah, Downunder Cruisers. That's the one. Hey, and everybody over there in the chat, don't forget, if you don't submit videos, we're gonna have to show videos of myself, Donovan, and Lance.
Yeah, that's not good.
And that's not good.
You won't learn anything from us.
Hey, nursing our travel bug, how you doing? Sorry about that habit.
Tell him, Scott.
Right, here we go.
Say hi to people after the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. The Downunder Cruisers. What are they down under?
We are driving in an area called South Melbourne. South Melbourne is renowned for having trucks come through and get caught under this very bridge that is ahead of us. Don't know if you can see it, but in front of us there are these coloured dangles. They call them the dangles. These are set to the height of the bridge. We've just gone under the dangle, and here's the bridge. This bridge has caused no end of troubles. Accidents like you wouldn't believe. There's the dangles on the opposite side. And now we head up through an area still part of South Melbourne, but we're going to head up through an area called Albert.
Oh, and he's back.
Hey, I was just checking to see if you guys were watching. All right, okay. All right, Lance, go ahead.
Okay, since I personally know Sean, I've known him for a very long time, at least weeks. The audio was very clear. You could hear him speak nice and slowly, clear. The audio was clear, and there's a lot of information that he was giving out about the dingles or dangles or whatever they call them in Australia. That's where he is down under, by the way, Steve. He's under the other side of the planet. So way down under there. Can't get any down under than there. But I'm thinking he might have shot this on a better day, a better sunnier day than on a rainy day when the wipers were, going. I mean, maybe that was a fact. I'm not sure. And there's these things that you can buy that they're called suction cup camera holders, and they're adjustable. And I don't know if he wasn't paying attention to it, or I was thinking maybe the roads are in Australia on angles, but you just got to get that more centered in the front of the windshield, and I think he'd be good. Donovan?
Thanks. First of all, Sean's a good-looking guy. And I have to say that because we're kind of doppelgangers. But drive videos are my absolute favorite. So everybody knows I can't stand drive videos. Let's just put that out there for honesty.
And what's the minimum? What is the minimum length they have to be?
3 seconds or none. That's your only choices. But I gotta tell you, living in America, dangles are awesome. We really do need those in this country. That is a great thing for those bridges. Definitely the ones under 13 feet. We should definitely have those. But hey, I've never been to Melbourne, and that was a cool thing to just see what it looked like and hear about Jennifer Aniston and all that kind of stuff. I actually, it's embarrassing to say, but I actually liked watching it because I learned a lot about Australia, because we do plan on going there, and we are planning on going to Melbourne. So that was kind of a cool thing. However, for entertainment purposes, once I got past the dangles, if it wasn't for the things that Sean would teach you, I could have done without all the driving. I think that's it for now. I can't wait for the round table.
I always enjoy hearing people from the other side of the world talking, because they have a funny accent when they talk. You know that? But my absolute favorite YouTubers are from that big island over yonder, and they talk like that, and I can't get enough. I mean, you could talk about bridges and dangles, and I'd pay attention. It's so interesting. I think I had a question as I watched this, and this is going to sound like I'm being silly, and I'm really not. What was the purpose of that video? Because like I said, I didn't have a chance to watch these beforehand. Was it information about dangles? Was it to show that particular bridge where the accidents happened? So I don't know. Or is it part of another story? So just from that clip, that would be my question. What was the purpose of this video? It was cool because it was just one shot. I like that. It was just one shot. It said, here's, or, it was just going down the road is what I mean. And it talked about the bridge, talked about the dangles. That was cool. I think if I were going to do anything differently as you're talking about the bridge, I might would have had some, I love B-roll. I might would have had some shots of the bridge. As I'm talking about trucks getting stuck under there, I might would have had some pictures of the truck getting stuck under there, or video clips, because I know those, it's not closed circuit television, but I know there are cameras that are on that bridge, and you can get some of those clips and put in there. Let me see what you're talking about. Remind me what it looks like when dumb people don't pay attention to the dangles. Let's see, but yeah, but again, my favorite YouTubers are from over yonder way, so you must be doing something right.
I don't understand why you say they talk funny.
Well, they talk different than us.
They don't talk much different than us.
Over there. They's over there.
Over there. Under there.
Sean said that they don't have an accent. The rest of the world does.
And I talked to an English guy, and he said the same thing.
And as a Canadian, no comment.
I am. Oh, that's right. You're French.
Only a few of us.
Oh, I thought everybody from Canada is French. All right, we're getting off topic. I'm supposed to keep you under control. I, too, have learned what a dangle is. I did not know that bridges had dangles. Now, there are some Amish bridges that have similar things. They're not dangles, they're logs. and they hang them in front of the bridge at the height so that the trucks don't go in there and break up the covered bridges. And I too, like Donovan, don't necessarily like driving videos. No offense. They're good for some people, but I don't know. I have a very short attention span. My wife hits me a lot because I do. She says, concentrate, smack. But I think it was interesting, you know, for you know, I watched it, but it really, it was it's not something that I would search for and watch. It didn't really follow the hook intro sort of format, and I'm not saying that is the only format there is, but yeah, driving through what was it, driving through Melbourne, I wasn't really excited about it. I apologize. I guess I get to be the mean one this week.
Who was mean last week?
Oh yes, you were terrible last week, Lance. All right, let's play this thing again. Come on, hold on.
We are driving in an area called South Melbourne. South Melbourne is renowned for having trucks come through and get caught under this very bridge that is ahead of us. Don't know if you can see it, but in front of us there are these colored dangles. They call them the dangles. These are set to the height of the bridge. We've just gone under the dangle, and here's the bridge. This bridge has caused no end of troubles. Accidents like you wouldn't believe. There's the dangles on the opposite side. And now we head up through an area still part of South Melbourne, but we're going to head up through an area called Albert.
So what you don't see the rest of the video, if you haven't seen it, is and what the whole video is about, is there's a crazy car chase where Sean's being chased down the road by the cops. I don't know why he picked this first minute of it. He should have picked farther down. So if you go back and watch the rest. But the question I have about I think you know how you take your cell phone sometimes and you reverse the camera, you use the face forward one, and when you use that, everything's mirrored. I think he used that when he was recording because he was driving on the wrong side of the road. You guys catch that? That's what I noticed too. So
I did notice that it was the wrong side of the road,
and that's probably why he was getting chased by the cops. Go ahead, Don.
And did he have? Was the audio reversed? I couldn't understand it. What language was he speaking?
And yes, Australian. I think.
Okay, so please, audience, know that Sean asked us to pick on him. So this is the hardest we've been on anybody.
He didn't tell me that.
Seriously though, I did learn a lot about the city. I don't think this is my style of video. However, before we go, I will watch this whole thing again, just so with a map up and kind of learn a little bit before I get there. Because I definitely don't want to drive on the correct side of the road while I'm there.
No, I wouldn't do it. No way. But, you know, seriously, though, I love the fact that it's, you know, the dangles and all that. But I think starting off with something like, you know, this is what happens when trucks don't, when they pass under the dangle. So everybody that knows what a dangle is, they're going to go, okay, we're going to see a truck wreck.
Yeah, you know, Donovan just said this is not his type of video. He's not going to sit around and watch somebody driving. But if Donovan clicks on it and within the first 4 seconds, you show a truck approaching a bridge, you know what's going to happen, and you don't show it happen, and you say, here's what happens. And then skip the intro with the that was another thing. We spent about 13 seconds showing the cruise ships before we got into the driving. Skip that and then show us leading up to it. Donovan would watch that.
Yes. Yes.
If you show me a car wreck, I'll probably watch.
Everybody will. It's difficult when you have a video like this, finding those things that are interesting, that you can sort of hook to. Like if you started off with the dangles and then let's say you did have a car chase, after the dangles, you could go, but look what happens when you drive too fast. And then, that's another hook. And then, maybe something else happens where your car gets out of control and you drive into a river. So if you can, if you can find those things in your video that are interesting, you can hook towards those. But sometimes it's just the drive.
So this is a one-cut video, beginning to end.
Right.
I mean, this is. There's a lot of people that do these.
Sure.
Unless you have a purpose to watch it, it won't. I don't feel like this is one that grabs your audience and people sit and watch all the way through. Unless you have a purpose. Like I said, I did because I wanted to see what Melbourne was like. And it's not Melbourne, it's just Melbourne. You got to learn to say it Australian style.
It's not burn?
No, you don't say that in Australia. It's just called Melbourne.
That's weird because Steve and I put ours, we add ours to words that aren't already there.
Yeah.
So you would say Melbourne.
No,
no,
there's no ruffles. There's no.
Like my cousin, her name is A-N-N-A, Anner.
Anner.
Yeah.
Anner.
It's like Danner.
Yeah.
So,
and her sister is L-A-N-A, Lanner.
So Steve, Sean's wife made a comment to Camping Therapy. If you want to, it's just about the third one from the bottom there. Ilana?
Nope, don't see it.
It says, if you hit the dongles, you slam on the brakes, cars go up your backside, and you do a U-turn and find a detour. That's how they do it there.
Oh, my.
Because you obviously are not going to keep going forward.
No.
And if we're looking in the chat, I see that Downunder Cruisers said, thanks, gentlemen. Much appreciated for the feedback. He was very specific. Much appreciated for the feedback. There are some things that apparently Donovan said that was not appreciated. Donovan.
Hey, he's a good-looking guy. That's all I'm going to say.
Everybody's, there's always a bad guy.
How did Lance get out of that role this time?
That's not me tonight.
Yeah, Lance bailed out. He's doing well tonight.
Thank you.
I've got anything else? What you got?
Well, I was just thinking about the the sound. Should he have run the noise reduction on his in Audacity?
And add just a little bit of music underneath it. It doesn't have to be music that takes over at any point, just enough to cover the road noise. I thought the same thing, Donovan.
Even though it's a single cut and everything, that would be a one shot and it would have totally enhanced it. You could even put like real Australian music, like what is it? Timey Kangaroo Down Sport, or some good music like that would be great.
Village People.
Oh yeah. Yimka. Yeah.
Kashmir by Led Zeppelin.
No, she's sleeping.
No. I have a clip. If you guys don't mind, I want to show it. I want to share it. Hold on.
Okay. Yes, I can't wait.
Oh yeah, baby. Where'd it go? I lost it.
It's his first live show, folks.
I've done this before. Hold on.
I had to beat Scott to the punch.
I'll go ahead and drink my drink.
Oh yeah, drink time.
I feel so much professional around you guys. It's weird.
You learn all the right habits here.
Well, I haven't shared in so long.
Carson?
I was going to say, do you see the set that Steve's on? I think he's the reason that Johnny went off the air.
Oh, here we go.
All right. Can you see that? Is that big enough? Hold on. what I want to show is this right over here. This is your analytics. And if you go into engagement, you can see this graph right here.
Yeah.
This is what you would hope that it looks like. The first 30 seconds they show, hopefully you're somewhere around 70%. And then if it's nice and straight across, that's where you want to be. However, you don't want to be like that. Hold on, let me get down there. You don't want it to look like that. So at the top of the graph, it's 100% of people are watching, and then all of a sudden they like, this video sucks. And
wait, Steve, you just showed your best video on the first one, and then you showed a live show I was on.
Yes.
For the second one, that's just rude.
Yeah, thanks, Donovan.
He doesn't want to lie to you.
Yeah, so if you look at this, there's people in and out, and now it is a live stream, and that happens with live streams. Yeah. But if you want to see how your video is performing, you ask the question, should I be in this? Should it be this? Look at your engagement graphics, and it'll tell you a lot about your videos. So I just wanted to share that. Hold on, let me get it out of here. I just wanted to share that so that people know what we're talking about, because sometimes we start talking about Audacity and taking sound out and things like that, and I'm not sure if everybody understands or cares about those things. And I just wanted to show those two graphs.
I was looking at some analytics on a video one time, and YouTube will tell you where the dips are. So I went and it's not talking about Donovan when it's talking about the dips. I went and saw where the viewer retention dropped down dramatically.
Right.
All of a sudden. And I went and I'm like, there's nothing about this segment of the video that would cause people to click off. What's going on? So I backed it up and realized that wasn't the case. What happened was people got there. It was the thing before it was something they wanted to go back for. And so they went back. Right. And so that went up, which caused that to look like a dip.
Right. Right. And people will do that.
So you've got to really look at the analytics and look at the video and figure out what's actually happening. Don't, just like with anything, I've said, watch YouTube as a student, but anybody that you copy, don't just copy what they do, copy their why. Look at it. And if they've got a 15-second channel intro, that doesn't mean you need a 15-second channel intro. Figure out why did they think they need a 15-second channel intro? Was it because they're introducing their branding for the first time? Was there, there are reasons why all of these things happen, or why were there cuts super fast, or why were there words on the screen? Don't just copy it and do super fast cuts and put words on the screen. Figure out why they did that. Maybe they were talking to somebody from Australia and they couldn't understand them, so they had to put the words on the screen. Figure out the why and do it that way.
So learn the concept.
Yeah. I think that's very good advice. That's a good concept to learn from others.
How does one keep a live stream running solid through most of it?
I don't know. Most of my live streams look basically like that. People are in and out, they're getting dinner. They go watch another video. Sometimes we don't, like earlier I said, hey, I put a video link down below. 12 people went down there to watch it. And you go, hey, what happened? But it's information. It's part of the show. And I don't know. I think it's difficult with a live stream.
It is difficult with a live stream, and it is going to look more like that than a typical video, but you approach both with the same goal. If you provide value, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
That's value. That value is informational. Here's how I rebuilt my Dodge Caravan and hit the road. Or maybe it's, here's how I develop a storyline for a YouTube video. People people who click on that want to see the whole thing. Or whether you put a hook and then you reference the hook multiple times and then you give the payoff at the end, people are going to stay. Same thing in a live stream. You keep teasing what's happening at the end, or you constantly are high energy the whole time, or you've got some guests, like if Steve Turtle's on your live stream, people are going to stay tuned to see that. If you put Donovan on your live stream, they're going to dip off right before the dip comes on. I mean, you just got whether it's a traditional video or a live stream, you just got to plan and give value.
I'll just come up right after Donovan leaves, Steve, if you like. That helps. If that's going to help for you, okay?
As a test, I wonder if you did a 15-minute live stream about a subject matter, what would the retention look like in that respect?
So this is how you retaliate against Scott when he says such nice things like that. Scott, I wanted to point out that the reason why I asked the question is how wonderful you do about prepping people during one segment for the next segment in the middle of it, so that they're getting ready for the next one. And then halfway through that one, you might mention, hey, don't forget coming up is, and you do that all the way through your show. And I don't know what your metrics look like, but that's the way to keep hooking them to hang on. Yeah. And of course you put your lovely face at the end of the video and everybody can't wait to see your face. So I don't know why that's a thing, but
he does have a cute face.
Yeah, and it's worth $2.22. So go see his live stream. You'll be rich.
You can make $2.22 by watching Scott.
So anyway, I just wanted you to know I thought you do a good job, and that's one way to do it. But I'm just a dip. So
camping therapy wants to know, what does it mean when the line stops in the middle of the video? They all left?
There could have been a blackout in that area. Computer's all shut down.
It's a good comment.
I'm tearing up over here. I'm feeling so bad.
She says, I looked at mine and the line climbs, then stops. What doesn't it? It just go downhill if people are still watching.
I think something's wrong with Doreen's metrics.
Well, in a live stream, think about what you do in a live stream. I do this. I'll turn on a live stream, even if I'm not still actively engaged. I'll let it keep playing because I want my friends to get their watch time, and I'll come back in and I'll type some more. I think a lot of people do that in the live stream. So you'll see a live stream metric will go up, 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 then it'll plateau, and then at the very end, it drops off.
And that's what these do.
Now, Lucretia says, you see that comment that Lucretia made there.
Burning up the roads?
Yeah, burning up the road. Sorry.
I just looked at my last 5 live streams. They only go up.
That's awesome.
Look, that's good. Lucretia's a very good talker. She really engages with her
you want
audience.
them to go up.
Yeah.
Don't change a thing, Lucretia. That's a great way to have it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if anybody's thinking of doing a live stream and you want to figure out how to do it, watch Burning Up the Roads.
Yes.
You want to see what not to do, come to McGuire's on Tires on Monday nights. And if you want to see the guy who's going to mute the microphone.
Don't
let him suck you in, people. He's the bad guy today. Don't let him suck you in and think he's just downplaying himself now.
So you're on Mondays, right, Scott?
Scott has an awesome live stream. He has a whole family live stream. And if it weren't for the others, I don't know, but he does a good job. It's a exciting live stream. They always have something different, and the children are the best.
Yeah, the family's great. All Scott does is complain about how far behind they are. So
yeah,
and everybody's touching his mouse.
Stop touching my mouse. Oh my goodness, we got to get out of here. It's time to end this show. Caribou Dave. Hey, Caribou Dave. Oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to engage with the chat. I'm a rule breaker. It's my show tonight. All right, so it's great to see everybody here. We're going to have to get out of here. Thanks so much for dropping by, and don't forget that drop us a line over there at vidliftinfo@gmail.com. Show us your clip. Tell us what 1-minute segment you'd like us to look at, and we'll be nice. We won't beat you up too bad. And remember, it's all for everybody. It's not just us. It's not just you. It's everybody. And we appreciate that. Now, hold on. I got to get out of here. I got to play something.